The following is an independent production in association with the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and features language and subject matter that may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome, travelers, to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. My name is Kane, and this is ostensibly a podcast. Today I am joined by Tommy from Black Dragon Gaming, Joseph from Black Dragon Gaming, and Donald from Black Dragon Gaming. I am also joined by my friend Conor, who is also from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and Adam, last name I will not attempt to pronounce, from Poland. Today we're going to be running through a one-shot of my own designing, and hopefully everyone here, I believe to be a competent enough role player to cover up for my fumbling.
Got you back, buddy.
So we begin. You're currently standing in Norman Stonewell's office being debriefed on the latest contract that has come through your offices. Some of you may already know about it. A lot of you are kind of investigators or detectives by trade, so you hear things. So you know that you'll be heading out to Claywitch in the morning. And I know that this contract is a little out of the way compared to what you're all used to. And I'm prepared to arrange and pay for your travel expenses. But we're taking this contract as a favor to a friend of mine.
Define travel expenses.
Define, what do you mean travel? What?
Define travel expenses.
I'm going to pay for the trip there, and some food, and your lodging. I mean, I'm not gonna fly you there on a magic carpet.
That's fair. Anything on the way there is comped. Let's go.
We do have a job to do, so let's get there soon.
I need you there within the week. When you get to Claywitch, you'll be meeting with the sheriff. His name is Jesse Brown. He's the proprietor of this particular contract.
A sheriff named Jesse?
Oh. Okay.
How is he old, or is he a kid?
She's probably in her 20s.
Okay.
Oh, a female authority figure. It is nice to see the fair sex obtaining such a position in this world.
Right.
Norman, is there any more information you can give us before we head out?
Yeah.
Anything would help.
Yeah. Anything about the contact that we should know, that we should prepare for?
Well, people have been going missing in the town of Claywitch, and we've been hired to investigate as to why. There are very few leads, but all of the disappearances do share similar traits. Most of them... What'd you say?
Nothing.
Most of the victims have been blonde women.
Oh.
The causes. Was there any traces of the supernatural or any magical auras left behind?
Well, it's entirely possible. However, as you may have noticed in the dossier, Claywitch is about 400 miles to our north and east. There ain't a whole lot of magic users up that far north. It's a fairly isolated town.
And bandits?
Bandits?
Yeah, I hate bandits.
It's possible that bandits were active in the area, Helyon, but they're usually bandits, they're not subtle like this. Maybe if they were working in small crews, it's possible, but there were very little signs of struggle. They haven't found any bodies. No ransom notes have been posted. People are disappearing, and doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to why.
All right.
Okay, so Aiden has barely been paying attention, as is common. The armadillo that sits on his shoulder, Layla, kind of slaps him across the face to wake him up.
All right.
Who did you say the primary victims were?
Mostly blonde women, varying ages.
Happening up north.
Mostly
Yes, sir.
Magnus
Okay,
looks at his
so-
own long blonde hair and starts feeling a little self-conscious.
So first off, Magnus will keep a hood over you. Secondly, Aiden is from a village just a little bit up north, and he has 3 blonde sisters, and so now he's paying attention.
Victor, look like a very suave and charming gentleman. So picture Clark Gable, just for the appearance to have
Again with Clark Gable.
Hey, Adam started it, not Donald.
Anyway, so such a villainous vanguard. We will capture who is behind this for sure.
Oh, I like the alliteration.
Such innocent bystanders. We will try to save them if we can.
Well, yes, of course, that is what I pay you for.
Yeah,
Any more questions?
I think it's enough.
Claywitch, how big is it?
It's a small logging town located in the northeastern forests. It's, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred people strong.
Municipality, I'm assuming chief, elder, mayor.
Mayor.
Okay, I think that's about it. Anyone else?
All right.
Magnus is perfectly content to just trace the runes on his hammer and listen.
The region we are going to is there any law enforcement type of people there?
There's the sheriff I mentioned.
Besides the sheriff and the mayor, is there any other notable figures we can talk to?
Well, last time I knew there was, the sheriff, the mayor, the owner of the regional sawmill. I think his name it. You gotta stop that, Aiden.
I went to the inn and they gave me a free bottle to get out, and so I gotta use it.
That's if you don't, you gotta put a cap on that or I'm gonna sew your mouth shut.
Ah.
Okay, Victor, he is not impressed by this ungentlemanlike behavior.
Which is hilarious, considering the ungentlemanlike behavior is coming from a rather decently looking blonde dude in shining armor like a fucking paladin should.
But yeah, I suppose I should get you guys to describe yourselves a little bit.
Yeah, by the way, who are these assholes?
Yeah.
We'll start in order on my screen. So, Adam, describe Helyon to me.
Helyon is an elf with a pretty stereotypical with bow and arrows, a longsword, and the ranger get set up. He joined the Stonewell company after first hiring it for some job of his own, but then he decides to stay as an employee. He hates bandits and he almost never sleeps. So that's
I see.
So what's this called? What is he again? Like job wise?
a ranger.
Okay.
Donald, tell me about Victor.
Okay, so everyone who have worked with him in the past would know he is a kitsune about 6 foot tall, and he would assume a very attractive male human appearance. So picture would be a Victorian gentleman dress with a very nice walking stick and top hat, and you would know he is a sorcerer to a certain extent that uses arcane talents to solve cases like this with a partner or a group usually.
Okay, so you have revealed to everyone here at some point or another that you are a Kitsune?
Yes.
Okay. So this within the company, that's common knowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Think of a joke later.
Yeah, everyone knows that Victor prefer being human when he is on the job when dealing with other human beings or other humanoid races.
Perfect. Conor, tell me about Aiden.
All right. I was actually just looking around my files to see if I could find the pictures of him, but I can't.
Well, this is an audio show, so pictures aren't really going to help me.
Well, I could run the data through a thing, but it'll probably just screech in the mic. Anyway, exactly. That's how he sounds. No. All right. So Aiden Cross. It's pretty clear how he grew up. He's still got traces of a farmer's tan going on, but the dude has dirty blonde hair and gray eyes. He is 6 feet tall, kind of decked in muscle, as dudes swinging around a sword that size should be. The armor he wears is silver in color with a red trim, similarly with the cape. Typical colors of a paladin of Iomedae, despite the fact he is not acting remotely like a paladin. Short cropped hair, square jawline, looking like a grumpy son of a bitch at all times. And If we're doing any backstory, he did not want to be a paladin. He did not believe he should be a paladin. And the first time he met Layla, which is his divine familiar, he booted her across the field.
All right, I get that. You're very reluctant to follow what.
Yeah, he's been chosen by Iomade for some purpose that Layla is unable to tell him about, which is why he punted her. And he was trying to avoid it up until the point that his family was attacked by bandits during a caravan run. He had to use a lay on hands ability to save them, and that's when he decided, oh, hey, maybe there's something to this. However, He is not an adventurer by trade, and so he joined up with the Stonewell company because he figured it's a pretty good start.
Okay, perfect. Joseph, tell me about Guy.
Well, it's pronounced Guy.
There it is.
Guy? Tell me about Guy.
How's Guy?
Guy Halava. Guy, to describe him, he's dressed all in black head to toe. Not an inch of skin is showing. He's wearing some, well-kept, but well-worn, studded leather armor, painted black as well. The only part of his visage that isn't black is a polished steel battle mask. The only feature on it is the 2 eye holes that he has set far enough away from his face that it shades his eyes. As for he has dangling from his side this kind of cryptic, alien-looking rapier. It's a visage of a rapier, but rapier.
I hope not.
Jesus Christ!
Oh no!
Paladin is angry, or at least the urban.
He's got Harvey Weinstein on a stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has the resemblance to a rapier you would find, but it has these kind of alien, just horrific looking little nodules all over it. Just kind of unsettling looking, I guess. As for backstory, he probably really doesn't ever talk to any of you guys unless it is absolutely imperative that he does so. You probably know him more as kind of like a walking computer. He seems to know a lot about the occult, a lot about other planes of existence. You probably also know that he's quite old, but you don't know what race he is or what what exact age he claims to be. And that's probably the most you would get just from your past with him, seeing him right now.
As long as he's not a demon. Okay.
Not a demon as far as any of you know.
Dun dun dun.
Motherfucker.
Bum, bum, bum.
Smite?
You've scanned him for evil before.
I'm sure he's been pinged a few times.
Well, I was going to say, since I'm working with these guys, I probably drop a detect evil in the room and see.
Just now is the very first time it's ever happened.
Yeah, just because we made the joke and everyone's like, and I'm like, all right, we're going to pop one of these now.
Massive PvP brawl.
Yes, that's the one shot.
Smite time.
Tommy, tell me about Magnus.
Alrighty, Magnus Wolfrickson, mechanically, he is an Archon-blooded Aasimar Magus. He's from very far away from here, both in terms of planes and in time. He was born circa 800 AD in Europe, and at a very young age, I hadn't fleshed all this out, but at a very young age, a really bad accident happened to him, and it crippled his leg, so he could never learn how to fight and properly defend himself and raid like the rest of his peers. He ended up, as he grew older, he became a somewhat competent carpenter, and he always had a hammer with him. And then one day when raiders show up and attack his house, kill his family, and ultimately kill him, he was able to at least stand up, defend himself, and use his hammer against his enemies. And in doing so, the Allfather witnessed this and sent the Valkyries down to bring him up. And over the past several hundred years, the Allfather has sent him to several planes across the 9 realms, prepping for the battle that will end all of existence and start it over again. Magnus is probably the upper reaches of 6 foot tall, muscles on his muscles, carries a really big warhammer with runes on it that nobody can read unless they use some kind of weird, comprehend languages spell or something, because they're not a language from, anywhere around here. Probably, just the Stonewell company calls Magnus in when somebody needs to get their head Gallaghered, essentially. He spends most of his time fighting by day and then just, feasting at whatever tavern, wherever we're at, by night.
Okay.
I'm going to be pissed off if him and Sin don't have a predator moment.
I am curious. So
Magnus, you son of a bitch!
I am just thinking. So the runes, are they more of the our world Nordic runes signs?
Yes, they are written in Truth Arc on his hammer, and that's mechanically where the +1 in the spell storing comes from.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Well, we should get on our way. Those people are not going to be finding themselves now.
Do we know the direction of the village?
Northeast.
Northeast, yeah. So in that case, Magnus is probably already out the door walking northeast.
Oh, it's northeast? Okay, cool. It sits up from his
Okay.
chair a little too quick and sends it across the room as he walks out.
Where the hell are y'all go? You can't walk there. It's too
Oh.
far away.
I have a horse.
He's like yelling through the door at Magnus.
He hasn't left yet. He's just leading, probably behind like wherever Norman is.
Magnus will turn around. Probably not like, yeah, sure, he'll come back in the building, but just kind of like poke his head in and wait, stare awkwardly at everybody.
There'll be well, how do you guys want to travel? Like,
I'm
just
thinking
really quick.
a carriage.
Form is most
Uh,
efficient.
A carriage would be best, unless if we are not going to be teleported there.
No, this is we're not in one of Tommy's.
Yeah, this
games.
isn't
I'm
an
not-
episode of Lord of the Caliber. We don't just snap our fingers and go to the other side of the world.
What a shame! Teleport is such a useful spell.
Yeah.
We're a little lower magic here at the Planar Crossroads. Yes, there's a carriage coming here in the morning. It'll take you all the way there.
All
Good
right.
enough.
That works for
Over,
me.
over the period of probably about 3 days.
Magnus nods.
Well,
Okay.
shit.
Like I said, you only need to be there like within the week, otherwise the contract expires.
Okay.
Okay.
Victor acknowledged this, and he leaves everyone to their own devices. If you need me, I will be at the local tavern in the evening. And he walks off in a very gentleman pose with his walking stick to show his
And I'll-
gentleman power off.
And I'll be going to the tavern to start a bar fight with him.
Yep, that's where Magnus is going. That is precisely what's happening.
Layla reminds Sin that he's been kicked out of the tavern like 13 times. Sin reminds Layla that he's bigger than the bouncer.
Okay, Victor would be going to the most gentleman tavern,
Yeah,
and
same.
not the gentleman club that you think of.
So really quick, Victor, you're headed off to the Cracked Kettle. It's the most posh pub in this town that you're centered in right now.
Which means they clean the vats twice a week.
No other
Yes.
cracked kettle. It's the most gentlemanly club. There's a lot of nose candy lying around.
The powder room is a whole different thing there.
You gotta go powder his
Oh
nose.
god. It's just
The Cracked Kettle is also the only tavern Aiden hasn't been kicked out of
I
yet.
was gonna say you could do it.
I'll get there eventually.
Okay, I put it in chat. What the type of gentleman club Victor
Oh
would
yeah, I know.
actually go
Yeah,
to?
I get- yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that. Only there's a lot more coke and a lot more stains.
Sweet. Wow, this town sucks. Let's go.
He will be staying inside of the Stonewell Company headquarters, going to wherever he happens to live. I'm guessing he probably lives in the headquarters.
It's entirely possible you have your own house.
I imagine that.
If you've ever looked at like the rules for how much property costs in Pathfinder, it's not very expensive compared to an
Magic
adventurer's salary.
It's
Yeah.
not exactly within Guy's wheelhouse to be purchasing property. He tends to spend more of his time probably just advising people on things.
That's possible. There's barracks here in the Stonewell Company's property.
So yeah, Guy is still just leaned up against the wall behind Norm.
Okay.
Magnus will go to like wherever the seediest, most low downiest, rowdiest tavern there is in this place, and just like not get just completely inebriated, but drink and hope someone starts something. Essentially,
Would you also accept the first pub you come across?
sure.
The cracked kettle.
It's also the Cracked Kettle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I can do that. Fine. About 3 hours of bar fight.
Yeah, I would imagine Victor would, at the local gentleman club, be entertaining the local noble ladies. How gentlemen and ladies would entertain each other, not in the way that you would think.
Do we have nobles in this town?
Just
Yeah,
him.
well, the town is yes, he's the only one. The town is fairly large that you're centered in here. The city of Townsville. It's Victor
town
and the
of Cityville.
Powerpuff Girls. Those are the nobles.
Oh, wait a minute. He's entertaining the noble ladies. Victor, you sick bastard.
Oh, no. They don't have hands.
Yeah,
Pretty
They're
low.
probably terrifying.
they're bad. They kill us all. They're the real adventurers here.
Yes, they're horrific. They don't have fingers or noses.
God. Oh, no.
Okay, so the city you're in is fairly large. The Cracked Kettle is probably one of the higher end pubs in the area, but it's like when I describe it as having like drugs and stains, what I should more accurately say is that it's a very, very old pub. This particular establishment is probably almost as old as the town itself. It was one of the first buildings erected, after all of the houses. It carries with it a certain amount of prestige, brought both by the age, the clientele, and the service. There is a degree of illicit activity that occurs within the pub, but it's just something that comes with the age of the establishment. Certain groups have established themselves there because they enjoy the atmosphere. Okay, so Guy standing in the back of Norman's office still after everyone's left.
Well, yeah. I would leave, but I would go in a different direction. I'm not interested in this inn.
Okay.
Probably
I wanted to give you guys an extra night in case there was anything you guys still wanted to do or needed to buy last second.
I was just checking, but I think I have everything. And in character, that would be the same. Helyon is just checking his equipment and preparing.
Okay, perfect. So in Norman's office, well, assumably Guy is still there. Everyone else is left. Norman turns to Guy and he says, I need your particular eye on this case. Something about this that don't strike me as proper. I know Jessie. I've known her family. Her parents were good friends of mine. And if she can't solve this herself, it's because something less,
Worldly.
yes, is afoot.
Do I have your permission to use any force necessary?
I prefer you not go around maiming townsfolk, but if the situation calls for it, do what you have to.
I understand.
Do me a favor and keep Jessie out of trouble, would you?
I'll make sure to watch her, but understand that if blows come to blows, I will make sure that the job is done first.
Fair enough. Suppose that's the best I can ask for.
Yes, it's the best we all can ask for. Guy's going to start to leave, probably just heading for the barracks.
All right. And with that, we will pass to the following day. As you come back to Stonewell Company headquarters, there is a rather large carriage there waiting for you, pulled by 4 horses, and a man dressed all in leathers, dyed a deep crimson. He's wearing head coverings that you recognize come from a region to the west of you. Can one of you give me like a...
Knowledge local?
Yeah, I'll take a knowledge local.
None.
Okay, I got a 15.
Natural 19 plus my intelligence, and it's untrained. 10.
Okay, so I got a 17, a 27, and a 20. And a 9 from...
Plus 4 about humans.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so 13's not quite enough, but you get a general inkling of what I'm about to tell the rest. You know that this dress, these head wrappings and everything, they're indicative of a particular type of... they're basically a mercenary company to the west. It's kind of like, if I were to make a comparison to the real world, it's kind of like a cross between the Transylvanian carriage drivers and the Pinkertons.
Cool. I can get behind them.
Oh, Jesus.
Suck our blood and stop us from creating unions?
I meant by reputation, not by... they're known for basically escorting high-priority passengers cross-country at expeditious speeds.
Oh.
That's what we need.
I'm not picking up anything on detection?
They're not evil.
Okay, good. That's fine with me. That's all I need.
They're
No, they're not good.
You just sort of get a general buzz.
To be fair, again, Sin's still new to the Paladin thing. As long as they're not evil, he doesn't feel the need to stab them out of hand.
Fair enough.
But if they were evil, he might feel the need to stab them out of hand.
Well, that's cross that bridge when I get there.
I would get into the carriage once everyone else is ready to.
He's probably
Okay.
already in the carriage.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not even. Aiden's going to be riding next to it on his own warhorse.
Guy was probably waiting for them several hours before they arrived.
Can you? No, you can't summon that horse, can you?
No, I can't. It's just a regular warhorse.
All right.
Yeah.
So
you
a
can
lot
kill
of
it,
you,
don't
a lot of you pile into this carriage.
worry. Aiden shows up
And
on his warhorse, sees Guy, is like,
Aiden-
man, you're such a fucking party.
Aiden shows up on his horse.
Guy just behind his mask, says nothing.
Victor would come to the carriage wearing his investigator combat gentleman outfit.
What the fuck does that look like?
Everybody, picture your own thing. Investigator, combat, gentleman outfit.
Okay, two.
I don't know what that looks like, but it sounds like some anime bullshit.
I'm just imagining like Sherlock Holmes but with dead cows strapped to him.
So for his outfit, just picture Sherlock Holmes in one of his investigator's outfits.
Okay.
With steel plates in the coat.
Is it an open carriage or a closed one?
It's a closed carriage.
Oh, goody.
Closed one. Is it a place that I could ride outside? I like to have a look, have a view on all around.
There are windows. Like the doors and the side panels have windows you can look out. You can't look behind you necessarily, unless you were to tip your head out the window. But you can see
Okay,
out.
but all right, but unless the weather is bad, I would like to ride outside, like next to the driver or something.
Okay, that's admissible. The driver kind of gives you a little side eye when you get into the chair next to him, but eventually he just acquiesces to it. He's been paid for this trip.
Okay.
All right, so a lot of you pile into this carriage, and Aiden pulls up on his horse, and the carriage takes off through the streets, and it doesn't really strike you as being especially fast while you're in the city. But as you hit the city limits and you're out onto the King's Road, so to speak, the carriage begins to pick up speed at an almost preternatural pace.
Oh boy.
So let's say normally a horse moves at what is it, 50 feet around?
Something like that.
Well, normally, if it's not double moving.
Yeah.
These horses move at something like 80.
Yeah, I heard 8.
Yeah,
80 or
they
90.
move 8 feet per round.
Oh,
So fast.
Yeah, how long does it take until we lose Aiden?
Yeah.
Pretty sure the warhorse could keep up.
Yeah.
If it's gonna go that fast, Aiden's eventually just gonna make them stop and like strap the horse to the roof or something. Because
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
funnily enough, actually, obviously the carriage does begin to outpace Aiden rather quickly, and as Aiden is just beginning to disappear as a speck on the horizon behind you,
Aiden's like, whatever, fuck.
the carriage does like slow down and wait for Aiden to catch up, and the carriage driver offers, "I can add your horses to mine for the trip of course."
Sense motive.
While this is going on, Victor would be playing cards with people in the carriage to pass time.
Okay. Anybody else gonna roll a sense motive, or is it just Guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a fucking sense motive.
I'll try.
Uno momento. Let me check if I put any points into it. Yes, I did.
I-
Okay.
I will roll.
Also, Kane, just for your peace of mind, I am not using my own dice right now.
That's dude. Whatever. Like I'm already dealing with a crit fisher and a called shot specialist.
Who's playing a cult
Well,
shot specialist?
Well, that's what I mean.
Is that
Is
you?
No, I'm not playing a cult shot specialist at all. I hit them with my hammer. That's all I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
no, but
peasy.
you know how I roll. So in order to offset that, I'm using Stephanie's dice.
Oh, okay. You're gonna roll 4s the whole time.
Exactly. Nope, 19.
I hate you.
I hate you.
All right. What is that? Add up to?
No, that adds up to 22.
Okay. So you get the feeling the cab driver knows something you don't, but it doesn't strike you as malicious.
Can I make a knowledge planes check to determine where in the 9 realms these horses might have come from? Is that permissible?
Sweet fuck.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
I got a 17.
You rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Gee. Okay. So wait, what did Tommy get?
17 knowledge planes.
17? Okay. You feel like it has more to do with the carriage driver than the horses.
Okay, so now I'll roll a knowledge planes and try to figure out where in the 9 realms the carriage drivers come from. 26.
Okay.
Damn.
He does
16
not
plus
concern
10.
himself with horses. He lies back in the chair.
Knowledge planes. He's probably not human.
Okay.
I don't have a for it, but you definitely know there are types of fae that have this kind of effect on animals.
Okay.
I'm just real quick looking through Iomede's thing to see if I hate fae or not. I don't think I do.
You do not.
Maybe I could see Ayomide hating evil fae at the very least.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, unseelie fae can get fucked, but
but not fair in general.
yeah, fuck the winter court. Summer's all right for the most part.
But yeah, you get the who got the really high knowledge? Magnus. You definitely know that there are types of fae that have this kind of effect on animals.
All right. Is that pretty normal around these parts?
No, but it makes sense considering this guild's reputation.
All right. Then Magnus will recline back in his spot in his seat and just kind of wait.
Well, I was gonna say. He says, "Would you like me to add your horses to mine?" I get the sense motive, but I have nothing in knowledge planes. Aiden actually glances over to Magnus because the dude's been a little spooky so far, and asks if there's anything he should know.
Are you afraid, little one?
I'd rather not lose the fucking horse.
Driver, will he lose his fucking horse if you use it?
Well, of course not, sir. I'd return the horse as soon as we arrived at your destination.
In the same condition.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
There you are, little one.
Okay, cool. Tosses the reins, hops in the carriage. Takes up way too much space.
Okay.
There are now 5 of you crammed into this carriage.
Four.
Oh, no, I suppose 4. 4
because
because
everyone else is possible.
Helyon is up on the roof.
I'd still say 5 of us because you got Aiden plus full plate and a greatsword.
Yeah, you're like 1.5 people.
Yeah.
I
I imagine the
I think-
Earthbreaker is not much smaller either.
No, you and I are both like 1.5 dudes.
Yup.
The
Yeah.
roof is looking
So
really
so
nice
5,
and right now.
considering the two dudes who are basically muscles on top of other muscles.
when the person came into the carriage, Victor would offer you. Do you want to play cards to pass
That's good.
time?
Real quick, good thing Aiden's not super paranoid, otherwise we would have the horse in here too. I'll play cards, I don't care.
All right. So a lot of you are passing time playing cards. You travel down the road, and you realize that your speed has actually increased. You knew you were going fast before, but with the addition of an extra horse, you are actually going even faster.
We're gonna have to ask Norman about this when we get back.
Okay. When you say fast, how fast? I'm trying to think of what type of sports car and horse speed.
Okay. If I'm thinking miles per hour, you're like a particularly fast horse will run about 30 miles per hour. Before you were going something like 55 to 60 miles per hour. Now you're doing about 80.
Cool. I am impressed by this.
You are
But i.e.
Yeah.
the interstate.
Yeah.
you are pulling like modern vehicle speeds.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss. If I piss out the window, I'm gonna leave the dick. Like,
Yeah, the backdraft will just blow it right in your face.
no shit! Everyone duck.
You're traveling down the road, and by the time you stop by nightfall, you pull into this circle of stones on the side of the road that is lower in the back than it is the front. Some of you that have traveled fairly extensively know that this circle of stones is called the Queen's Crown, and it's next to a small like waypost inn type building that takes people in and gives them a place to sleep during the night, because this is the only main road that goes all the way this way north.
All right. Unless the weather is bad, I'm just going to cast a spell on myself and spend the night outside.
All right.
I would assume the carriage would have the necessary camping gear we could set up camp with.
Yes,
There's
of course.
An inn, though?
Hmm?
There is an inn.
Yes, there's a building where you can.
Guy will step out of the carriage, saying nothing, heading towards the inn.
Magnus will
I
do the
go-
same.
I go to the inn.
Sure.
I would go to the inn to get the dinner, but not to get a room.
That's perfectly fine. This isn't going to take up a lot of time. This is basically just where you're stopping. on the road.
Yeah.
Guy will just go
So-
in, pay for a room, like a piece of bread and some water. That's all he's doing.
Okay. With my pitiful percentile rolls, the night passes uneventfully. So-
Victor would probably get up first thing, have his tea and crumpet, and then once everyone is ready, he get into the carriage.
You're so fucking English.
Aiden slept in his armor, so
Okay. Do you have a
Endurance.
thing that lets you sleep in your? Okay.
I was gonna say I don't where I thought of it, but these drivers are spoopy, and so
What are the rooms set? Are the rooms like completely private, or
Yeah, there's about like 4 separate rooms. None of them are occupied when you get there. Not a lot of people come this far north.
that's good? And they're not like there's not just like a bunch of windows and like those who live in glass houses should.
No, you can take off your mask.
That's good. That's all I needed.
Okay. Was there anything you guys wanted to do during the night?
Is the place particularly crowded?
No.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm probably just gonna like go find a room and pass out.
Just
There's not enough people around here to start a fight with.
Just,
Okay.
He just sleeps and then just like sits in a chair and stares at a wall.
I would probably talk to the tavern keeper a bit to ask if there are any strange faces that have been traveling the roads recently or have been seen for potential hints for the case we are on.
Oh, I couldn't tell you in particular any strange faces come this far north. I mean,
Francis!
anybody comes what?
Francis!
Anybody
No, no,
comes this far north is a little bit strange.
Speaking of strange, I'd like to keep an eye on our driver through the night. Yeah, what is he doing through the night?
Okay. The driver sort of, if you're watching him throughout the night, the driver actually sort of, he gets down out of the front seat in the carriage and climbs into the carriage since none of you are sleeping in the carriage. And once he's in the carriage, you look away to take a bite of soup or to take notes or something, and you look back and the driver's gone.
oh good.
All right.
Wonderful.
They'll bring it in the morning.
Is everyone ready to begin the next day?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably already.
So you wake the next day, and you're getting ready to leave, and you come out to the carriage, and the driver's there waiting.
I was spending night outside, so probably I just again once I looked away and he appeared.
Was Victor paying attention to the driver at all through the night?
He would.
Was Victor paying attention to the driver during yesterday?
I would see what he is up to, if he was up to no good or not.
Okay.
So I would assume he's up to no. He is just doing his job, I would assume.
So Victor, Helyon, and Guy, you're pretty sure the driver is taller today.
You will make a perception.
Is there anything else different about him?
He's wearing the same crimson leathers. He's got the same head wrappings. You can see about the same amount of his face as you could before. It something about his body just seems different than the driver you had yesterday.
Is it safe using my?
He's just slightly a different size or shape.
Looking at him, could I guess he used some type of alteration magic?
With a knowledge arcana, yeah, go for it.
Okay, 18.
18. You're aware of a couple of different ways he could alter his size, but you can't quite puzzle out a reason why he'd do it.
Cool.
Like this could be size alteration magic, or it could be like shape change, or it could very well just be a different person.
So I was gonna say it's either a different person or motherfucker's trying to square up.
Okay, I going
He
to.
doesn't look any broader. If anything, he looks more spindly.
Oh, he's a rogue. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Could you reason out that this is maybe a different driver, considering the fact?
Oh, with that 28, you're given what you because you rolled that high. No, it was Magnus.
That was a 26, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
rolled that natural one back thinking about the horses.
Okay, so if Magnus talked to you about it,
He probably didn't.
yes, no. Okay, he probably didn't.
Not unless he was directly asked.
Okay, so you get what Magnus had before. There are definitely types of fae that have this sort of effect on animals. You also know that fae are they're known to be particularly flighty. No, they don't commit to things long term. So if this driver were employed as some sort of fae, it's possible that they switch out every so often.
I was going to say there's probably some kind of contract or something that makes a group of them work, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so to know about Fae, would that be more of a nature roll?
No, it's still knowledge planes, I think. Because Fae come from a different plane of existence. They come from the first world.
Okay, so I roll knowledge plane, so with a 15, and then with my character being having the Fae bloodline and miscellaneous modifiers, would I know what they are exactly?
The 15 was your total result?
Yeah, 15 plus whatever modifiers was my character
Yeah,
being.
I'll give you bonuses. What do you want to know specifically though?
Is this the same person or creature?
Given what you know about the first world, probably not. They're dressed the same. They look more or less the same, but it's probably not the same thing as yesterday.
Okay, cool. I make note of this and get into the carriage.
The rest of you gonna get in the carriage?
He's probably been in the carriage.
Yeah, and after yesterday's crazy ride outside on high speed, I think I will go inside today.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say, everyone's been like, what's with this guy? Let's figure him out. And Aiden's been taking a nap in the carriage.
Now with 5 people inside, Guy probably, like, as soon as everyone is inside, Guy's like, and I leave. And he, like, steps out and, like, goes to where Helyon was yesterday.
Okay, up next to the driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday the driver was kind of uncomfortable having Helyon next to him, but it's almost like the driver knows something about you. He almost welcomes you to sit next. And as time goes on throughout the days, maybe he even attempts a little small talk with you if you're receptive to it.
I probably test the waters of what he knows about certain things, but like if it's clear that he doesn't understand, then I'll probably be a bit more non-receptive and simply just stare forward.
Oh yeah, well he's pretty knowledgeable. Yeah, especially with that diplomacy roll, he's pretty knowledgeable. So as you travel down the road again at high speed, another thing you notice, Guy, is you're up in the front, and I should have mentioned this Helyon yesterday when you were sitting up with him previously. You're not really buffeted by the wind while you sit, because you're traveling very fast down the King's Road, and normally you know what it's like to ride on the back of the horse at like roughly 30 miles an hour. That's a lot of wind. You're doing almost triple that speed, and the amount of air up in your face is almost negligible.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, I would say that I figure out that nothing is going to attack us at that speed, so I don't need to keep watch anyway.
It would be very difficult for nothing would be able to catch up to you.
Yeah.
And so much quicker. This is probably the quickest you've ever traveled such a large distance in such a short time. By the probably early afternoon of this day, you're in. So you've traveled roughly 400 miles in about, minus your sleeping time, 20 hours.
Damn.
Which is unprecedented for this time.
Yep, there's some spoopy shit going on. Aiden tries to ignore it and just listens to Layla grill him about religion he's supposed to be following.
Yeah, Victor would keep himself busy reading a novel he brings.
Okay.
What is the title?
The novel, it's called Great Expectations.
Great expectations.
Okay.
Okay. So as you arrive in Claywitch during the early afternoon, probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and when you get out of the carriage, the driver is already off the carriage and he is unhitching Aiden's horse.
Okay. Ideas.
And these are out of character things for Guy and Aiden. Guy, you get a +2 to all knowledge checks for the next 24 hours.
Sweet.
After talking to this Fey driver. And Aiden, your horse's speed is increased by 10 feet for the next 24 hours.
So when we get up, I'd like to take a look around, find the sheriff's office.
Considering how slow I am in plate armor, maybe I should have just strapped myself into the horse's spot.
So we are at the town then.
Run like you've never run before, Aiden.
He's too fast for him. He just starts getting dragged by his neck along the ground.
Yeah.
I'm wearing full plate. I put the helmet on and just take a nap. No.
Legs just
All right, you're gonna go looking for the sheriff's office?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to the sheriff office wearing another set of clothes, wearing another gentleman outfit I'm wearing.
When the hell did you have time to change?
I have extra pair of clothes. A gentleman.
So he's carrying a whole suitcase in this carriage that has no room for anything.
Fantastic.
It was on the roof. There's cargo room on the roof of the carriage.
Before
It
we
just
move-
sort of gets bolted down, or well, not bolted down. It gets strapped down.
Into the town proper. I don't suppose I could get a quick description of it.
Okay, so you want to know what Victor outfit it is? So you
No.
see.
No, I was asking Kane if I could have a description of the town.
Tell me what you're wearing, dog.
Okay, so Victor, he's
Now, this
wearing.
vest was sewn in the Elven lands over 20 years ago. It's a rather fine piece, and Aiden's already gone.
He's just looking at the architecture.
So Victor outfit, this outfit worth over 100 gold, and it's made out of the best elven silk ever for a suit.
Look who fucking called it!
Perfect. All right. Beautiful. All right. So the town of Claywitch is actually for the people playing here. It looks like the page you're currently on in Roll20.
Yeah.
It's a fairly small town. Like I said, there's maybe only 200-300 people living here. A lot of the roads this far north are all dirt. You remember, this is common knowledge for all of you. The King's Highway is paved fairly extensively, and it's not until you really sort of get out into the boonies that pavement stops showing up. As you get this far north, all of the roads are either dirt or piled gravel, and the houses are all made of like wood. The frames are wood. It's a lumber town. It's like the art, like there's no buildings here that are over a single story high, and the particularly large buildings are large because of their square footage, not because of the amount of skyline. Yeah, they occupy.
All right, well, I guess we get in. Aiden mounts his horse because he may as well strike a fucking figure as he comes in, and head straight towards sheriff's office because there's work to do.
Okay.
And blonde chicks to save.
So the sheriff's office is just off the market in the town square. As you get into the town square, you notice a statue that appears to be a clay relief of a woman with her hands extended, palms up to the sky.
And you said Victor's standing on it, right? Okay, so
what knowledge would be fit for identifying it?
Justify a knowledge roll.
Knowledge, history, or local.
Okay.
Done, local knob.
Get that local knob. I know nothing about it.
No, I don't know.
Okay, that's a natural 1 and a 4. It's a statue.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
He has no time for the statues of these people.
As we go by the statue, Aiden looks at the first villager he sees and asks, hey, is there anything up with that statue, or is it just a statue?
Yeah, speaking of local villagers, how do they react to us arriving?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
this town doesn't get a ton of passers through, but it's not wholly uncommon. You're not. I mean, you have a dude dressed in black, a guy in full plate, but you don't. Okay, you don't have a kitsune with you. You do, but he looks like a person.
But very fancy person.
So
Yeah,
you do get a couple sidelong glances, but they're more like, oh, these people have money, more so than, oh, these people are weird.
So does he get an answer to his question, or?
Oh, sorry. Who's asking what question?
Everyone was like, we don't know fuck about the statue, and Aiden, just like the first villager that goes by his horse, he just asks, hey, what's that statue of?
Oh, okay. What, statue in the middle of the market? Oh, that's
thanks.
All right, be a dick to the villager.
No,
That
that
works
was
too.
out
Fall
of
from
character.
grace.
I mean, it's really
That's,
big on be dicks to villagers.
That's Adriana. You know, the Claywitch. And it clicks right there. That's why the town is called Claywitch. It's based around the statue.
Uni villages tend to have pretty simplistic naming practices.
You know, this particular town has been around for a couple generations, so the exact specifics are a little muddy. But the villager tells you, well, it's the town was built around the statue. The village wasn't. The statue wasn't erected in the center of the village. That people say that this has always been here.
Okay. Is the statue of a human or human woman, or is she of a different race?
Anything else?
It appears to be a human woman.
Okay.
All right, random statue, probably something spooky about it. We'll come back to that later. On to the sheriff.
I'm gonna sense motive the statue as we walk past it.
It's a rock. That's what you sense off it.
It's very aggressive in the way it stands there doing absolutely nothing for 25 years.
You never know. It's waiting. Statues don't talk. They listen. Wait.
Well, like you've been told, the villager said that the city is a couple generations old. So that statue is at least 100 years old.
Yeah.
And
It's a weeping angel.
it's inferred that the statue was here before the town was. So how old the statue is exactly is indeterminate.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, depending on the level of healthcare they have out here, 25 years could be 2 generations.
Yeah.
That's entirely possible.
Okay, I'm going to use detect magic on the statue. I don't want this to be a Doctor Who statue.
He is just continually walking towards the. So you guys all stop and look at the statue. He looks at it like it's a statue and continues walking.
The statue is not a weeping angel.
Sense motive 20, it's fucking lying.
My sense motive was 10. I have no idea.
It's not a statue.
I will allow you to sense the motive of an inanimate object on a natural 20, but
Aiden is gone because this is fucking dumb.
All right. You all approach the front door of the sheriff's office. Over
Yes.
the door hangs a swinging sign that says Jesse Brown's office. And here we're going to take a break because I really need to pee.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to grab a soda or make a sandwich, now's the time.
It takes you that long to pee? Jeez.
Maybe. It's a long pee, man.
It's 20 minutes. Don't worry, I'll come over and help.
Okay.